not the Android. Sorry for the wrong answer. So actually provided by the Google, like platform specific, optimized for the performance and uses official tools and languages. So by the Google, official language for the Android development is right now Kotlin. Before that it was Java. So right now the all our companies and Google is also shifted to Kotlin. Actually, by the Kotlin, right nowadays Androids are developed. This is called the native Android development. And the next one is the cross platform. So cross platform is nothing but the code sharing in the different platform. Like you are using one application in Android OS. Also, this can be used in like iOS applications in your like iPhones. A single code base is shared so that like no, you are not writing code base for the like two different OSs. This is called the cross platform. And another is the hybrid. Hybrid is nothing but a subset of this cross platform development. Basically, it's involves only the web technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Using these, you can develop like hybrid applications. So basically, nothing but the React Native is actually useful for that. I think Orgo is more better to say this one. Okay, like and other tools also like Flutter, Xamarin, and Kotlin multi-platform. With the Kotlin and Jetpack Compose, I will be discussing it further like next time. Like Kotlin multi-platform is also in the trend. So actually, Kotlin multi-platform is nothing but Kotlin is also giving you that like features to develop your Android application for like multiple platforms for like whatever I have told for the cross platform. Like you have to before that you can do it only by Flutter and React Native, but Kotlin multi-platform also provide this one that you can do make single code base for Android and also for iOS. So this is actually Kotlin multi-platform features. Okay, so let's go to like next slide. Okay, तो अच्छा तो आप क्या क्या tools है native development की? Like everyone you are like those who are like today going to know about the Android development, they are curious about that. So there are like the key tools for the native Android developments are like Android Studio. I will be showing it after some time. Next one is Android Software Development Kits. Nothing but like we call it like SDK, Software Development Kit. Next one is like Gradle. Okay, then emulator. Emulator is like very like emulator is nothing but like you are using more Android devices in a Android Studio, which I will be showing that. Okay, then there is like debugger, layout editor, profiler, and lead. They will like I am not gonna say you to bore you guys. Like you would be doing Android development like after someday or according to your interest, you will know all those things. So I'm not gonna bore you telling those things. Okay, so like I want to tell you some basic about like Android Studio and SDKs because those two and three things are important in there for the native Android development. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you what is the SDK. Okay, so Android SDK is a set of development tools actually that allows developers to create like Android application, which I already have told. Like you have to like when you are building some application in the Android Studio, you have to mention that what is the target SDK and what is the like compile SDK. So actually, that means that target SDK means like which even nowadays we are using already like Android if we like device Android 11 already. I am using Android 11. 14 is also introduced already. But for that, what is the different thing between like Android like 11, 12, 13? So different thing is like API, or that is nothing but the SDK versions. Like when the API level is higher, then the Android devices like of the model name like Android 11, 12, these are called higher and higher. So this is the actually the SDK. When you will like target SDK and compile SDK, you will mention those for like how like target SDK means for the higher API level. For that you will develop the application. Compile means right now you are compiling those stuffs in the certain SD. So is the complicated thing you will learn after like doing some practical experiment on that. Okay, so next important thing is like Gradle. Gradle is the like built automation system. Means like you will like any of you like maybe you have done already like web development also. Okay, so but already you have done like Python coding. For that, like you have to import some dependencies in your like environment or in the IDE which you are coding. So Gradle is nothing but that part of the Android Studio, like a folder or package where you will mention those external third-party dependencies and other stuffs to like import them in your project. Okay, emulator I will show you in the like Android Studio itself. Okay, so layout editor is nothing but a provide money when you are using like XML design, you will be designing UI. Actually, the season is based on that only. How you can create UI for Android application. So layout editor is nothing but that where you can edit your layouts, different layouts. You can see them in terms of when you are like designing them. Okay, so and profiler is a tool like I don't want to say this one like it is more confused and you will like after knowing this you will say what is that also. Okay, so profile is nothing but like provide the insight into the CPU memory and network uses of your Android application and execution of Android application in your mobile phone. Okay, so like let me go to our Android Studio. Okay, so like what is Android Studio? Okay, so let me check comments some like what is Android Studio? How many of you know about the Android Studio? Please give some comment in like I am already seeing the 23 participant. What is Android Studio? What do you know about this? Anyone write in the chat box? Hello, Orgo. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. See the chat section about the like replies. Any of them know Android Studio?
Okay, nobody has replied right
Anyone?
now.
Anything you know? Okay.
Please, nobody write that this is the studio where apps go and click their photos.
Okay. So Pro Tool. Okay, Pro Tool written that tool for developing native and cross-platform application. Okay, Android ID, Android Studio is the integrated development environment. ID is specifically designed for the uh, developing Android application. Okay, okay, everyone is right. So let me see some like other definition of that. Okay, so to warm your head, you use cap. To warm your feet, use like socks, and also there is hand socks to warm your hand. And Android Studio is nothing but to warm your PC. Okay, so this is a joke by the way. And what is Android Studio? Like Ruchi Pandey and others also, Potu and Aditya already said that Android is a IDE to develop Android application. That is the correct answer. This is just a joke. So, Olga, please allow my another account to show them the Android Studio platform, how this looks, and like other like folders. This is.
I think it's already allowed.
No, I have joined in another account also. Like I have to present one and to show them in the Android Studio because Android Studio will run a huge like destroy my PC.
Uh, you have both. Yeah, you
Okay,
are visible right now.
okay. So if I off my we stop my video, so I think there's not any issue because like I will be open Android Studio, it will be like huge pressure on my PC. Okay, so let's start the Android Studio. Okay, so actually, okay, let me present. Sorry guys. Okay, so Argos, my screen is not visible, na, from my another device.
No, I am still can see your presentation only.
Okay, so like I have like my another device sharing screen is like not able to. I'm unable to like
You
there's
can try
any
turning off this screen.
sorry.
You can try by turning off this screen, your presentation screen.
Okay, so right now this is visible. My screen is visible.
Not now.
Like I am not able to share my screen actually.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, actually, Somadip Bose, you have a question. Yeah, you can ask. You can say here also. And also we have a Q&A session at the last of the session.
Try turning off this screen and then share your presentation screen. Turn
Yeah,
off the
actually,
presentation.
no, no, actually I am like joining two devices.
Yeah, I can understand, but I think you can present only one screen at a time.
Sure, sorry for that. Okay, let me. Okay. Okay. Yeah, actually my new screen is visible now.
Yeah, now I understood is visible.
Okay, thank you. Arun. Okay, so this is the Android Studio. How like this is how it's look like. Okay, so first of all, you have to create your project. Then you will see the like next step. So like how to create a new project. Like you have to select one like views you will gonna use in your entire project. So there are like lot of views there. First is no activity. That means you will not get any activity. So what is activity? Actually, I am not gonna tell in this workshop. In the next, maybe after this, also we have another workshop, maybe in some later days. So that in that I will be discussing about activity and its life cycle. So you can right now you can assume that this is nothing but a like it's a normal screen of a smart. Okay, so I am gonna choose a empty activity. So actually, empty activity means you will not get any pre-defined any designs in that activity. You have to like fully design your entire activity and like add new activities. Okay, so there are also another activity. So this is also empty activity and this is also empty activity. So you guys may have questioned that what is the difference between these two? Actually, like Google in 2017 introduces the Jetpack Compose where you can use like Jetpack Compose to design your UI. So for that Jetpack Compose only, you can select this one for like Jetpack Compose to design your UI. So you can select this one only. But for the XML and also Jetpack Compose, you can use this one where you will be like you like integrate your Jetpack Compose and dependencies by yourself, and you will set the environment totally for the Jetpack Compose. Like it will give you like by default view, but you in this view you have to give some like dependencies to get this view for the use of Jetpack Compose. But today I'm not gonna use Jetpack Compose. I will be showing you how to design Android application using XML. Okay, so there are also another activities also, which is like basic view activity, navigation view activity. Okay, so you can go in the deep of that. You can learn them also. Okay, so I am starting this one. So empty views activity. So after this, you have to specify your name. So according to your name, you can see that there is a package name. Like when you will be publishing your application in some like already the Google Play Store is there, and so Amazon Play Store is there, and also maybe there is also a third-party Play Store is there where you can like publish your uh, Android application. So there, when you are publishing the Android application, this package name should be like different for every Android application which is already published or which you have already published. So for that, you can search the packages which are available or which are present in the Play Store right now in the same name. So then you can check the name. But after the building of the project, you can change also your package name for the Android application. So right now, for the today's project, I will be going to build one quiz app. So let me give the name. Like suppose quizzes. Okay, so this is, and then you have to select your language. You can select Java and Kotlin. So I'm going to make the project using Kotlin because the season is based on Kotlin. Then you have to select the SDK. So whatever I have told you about the SDK, this is what the you can select the SDK. There is nothing but the API level difference. You can see that there is different API level 16, 17, 18, and based on that you have the different Android the model name like 4.1, 4.2, and different, this is the API level 33, 13 for the Android model 13. Okay, so this is API level 30 for like upcoming Android 14. This is not mentioned here. So I am going to choose the like almost everyone is using right now like above the Android 10, but still I am choosing the API level 26 and Android 8 to support like a maximum device I can cover for the Android application I am building. So this is API level 26 and Oreo. Okay, so after that to finish this. Okay, so after that like one Gradle building is there. I have already told what is Gradle actually. Okay, so after the Gradle build, you can see your like project view. Okay, so let's get finish the Gradle build. Okay, so my Gradle build is finished. So this is like actually like project structure which I have opened already by default. It is open in the Android view, but there are separate like you can open this in the project view also. So in the project view, we can like see the how the your project gonna totally have the folders and files. Okay, so I'm going to like you can explore this, install your Android Studio and explore this part. I'm not gonna deep on that. So I'm opening it my Android view. So in the Android view, actually in the first you will get the manifest file. So what is actually manifest file? Manifest file is nothing but the like file where the your application flow is already defined there. So what does it mean by application flow? Right now I have one activity only, the main activity already. Like I have told that you will, I'm selecting one empty activity which will not contain any kind of code or any kind of design. But this one activity will be created. This is empty totally. So for that only the this part is only created that you have only main activity. Okay, so and what is the intent filter here is actually that that tag define that this is the activity which will be like a launching activity. Launching activity means yeah, like nowadays we are using like WhatsApp, Facebook, and many more Android applications. When I will launch our activity or which launch our Android application, first we saw the one splash screen where one logo with some animation or some loading screen is there. Not just like you click the Android application and already launch the application directly. Okay, so for that application, like all, and also some application, there are some guidance screens. So for that, there are different activities and also there are uses of fragments. So what are those things I will be talking about in our next workshop. So actually, intent filter actually to mention that this activity is gonna be my launching activity. Means when I start my Android application, this activity will start first. Okay. So that's why I mentioned that and it is intent filter is mentioned for the main activity. And another things are also mentioned that this is I have already told that target API and theme I am gonna use in the theme. All if I expand those all the part those part will also be visible in the next part also. So actually, this is actually Android manifest file, and also here you can set your different permissions. Means when you are using some Android application, suppose you are using Instagram. When you have installed for the first time, the Instagram wants that you want to you have to give some camera access to capture your picture. You have to give some in some Android application you have to give like Google Maps your GPS location permission to access your location. So for that, you can mention the permissions here also. Which permission your Android application is required to give its full features to you, and all the permission here you will define by this tag. I will be using in the next while I will be building the project. So actually you can see that there are different like things you can mention, that user permission, normal permissions, and compatible screens also. Like when you like you are using tablet screen, you have to design the separate UI for that, because the Android screen are too large rather than the smartphone screen or like foldable screen. For the different screen, you have to design different things. So you can mention them here. Okay, so this is actually manifest. Okay, okay. Then you will get the Java. So actually, Kotlin came from the like Java, so that's why like still it is like showing the Java folder. So in the Java folder, there are three packages actually. One is com example quiz, which I have named my the application name. Then it is came to the next is com.example and quizzes and Android test. So actually Android test means here you will be this folder is actually contain the instrumentation test files, where you will be writing your instrumentation test, and there another is like unit test. Okay, so actually those are not the required thing right now, for like we are still beginner and not like developing a like large project. So that's why like these folders are like not like usable for us, but you can learn them. Then next thing is main activity, where like this is the main folder which like we'll be working in future. That this is the folder where we'll be like keeping out all the files like main activity or fragments and different things, which all will be kept here. Okay, then another is race folder. So this is the actual folder where the all kind of like external resources. External resources mean what? Like you are like using like API, or you are using some like third party like images and other things. All those things you will be like keeping those in the race folder in different sections. So drawable means like here in the IC launcher background. So in that folder in the drawable, so here is actually what is that? Let me see that this is the background for the when you will see one Android application. There is like Android app logo, and behind that one background is there. So this is nothing but this one. So this background is your like logos, Android application logos background. Okay, so then another is foreground. Foreground means when you will like the Instagram, when the Instagram is the like one is circle, one is like rectangle and rounded corner. So this is actual logo. So in that part you can like change the logo of your application. So this is the default view of the application, where you will not set any kind of like image or icon. So this will be like default. Okay. So in this drawable folder, you will be defining the like custom background for your Android application or custom views. And then next is the layout file. Okay, so layout file is nothing but the like file where you will be defining your different layouts for your different activity or different fragments. Right now I have only main activity, so only activity main layout is created. So right now,
On. Sorry for
yeah.
interrupting, but there is a question from Neil Kolpo in the comment section. I have already answered that from the industrial point of view, but is there any technical point of view you can answer? Then please answer him.
Okay, actually, Orgo, like let keep those all the question for the like at last. Keep those like for the Q&A session. It will be better for me.
Okay, okay, all right.
Okay. Okay, so like then the uh, activity. So actually, this is the main activity file. So actually, I have already told that I am taking the empty activity. So that's why there is nothing like predefined design. So only there is one thing is a hello world. This is nothing but a text view. Simple. I will be talking like later after teaching you the Kotlin basics. So actually, hello world. This is nothing but a empty normal default view provided by this. So in this layout, XML layout file, you can define like more activity UI designs. Okay. So then there is like MIP map folder. Okay. So I'm not gonna teach you this folder, but because like those are like something like for a higher thing. Okay. So another thing is like values. So actually values folder contain your colors and strings and other values, like you will be like using some like a raw file or animation that is also contained in the res file. And values means like for your application there are certain colors you will be using. For the there is only two color is defined. Those two color are like default color, one is black and white. So right now I can only use this color only, but you can define your like custom colors for your application. Like you may have different background and different colors, you can define them in this. Actually, actually what is like purpose for this folder, like when you are like using for your colors, maybe you have already done some like and web development also. So like in your CSS file, you are like you for the like first time when you are like you developing some like websites, you just go to your some website and take some colors and they put this directly in there. But you will see some warning that you can store the color in your like some other file. You can then mention this in that part. So actually this is actually for the Android, you can mention all the colors in your color XML file, then you can define them in your like activities XML folders where you will be designing your schemes. Okay, then what is string folder? String folder is nothing but the similar thing, kind of thing, like for the like for the color means the like name of the like variable contain the like color, what is either it is black or white. For the string resources, what that is called, the all the text you will be using in your Android application. So all the text, you are not gonna like hard coded those part on the like your layout file. You are gonna store them in string XML file. Then you will like just mention them from the like I am taking this from string XML file, and the name is like the given name is app name. Okay, so you can define many more string which will be using like text view only. Okay, so then next part is the theme. There are like two theme. The theme, what is the theme? This is like day theme. Means in the light mode you can see the different. Right now our Android application are not like that you can use different UI for the light mode and different UI for the dark mode. Now our Android application is shifting that you can only use one custom theme that is like predefined by their UI designer. But you can also like when you are like building some application, you can define your different themes for like for the light mode. You are using like white background and this color. And for the and there is also another theme XML file for the night mode. So for the night mode, so this is the background like dark background and also like white text, and this is those things. It means you are like separating two modes in the theme. And there you can see the style and name is already defined. So after like defining all your colors and backgrounds etc, you can like mention this name, the base theme quizzes. For my application this is the base theme quizzes. For your application it may be differ. So you can mention this name, that this theme I am using. So for that layout file, the layout file will be using these themes, all the colors and all the things. You will like you can use those in your like layout file directly. So there is another is XML. So those are nothing to know about that. You will go to like for hire in your Android application, or you will do by your own. You can explore these things. Okay, then there is like Gradle script. What I already told that what is actually Gradle. Gradle, I will be showing that this is the module app. This means I am using the Gradle only for the for my application. So what is actually module app Gradle file? So here are also the all the plugins which you will be like using. Like I am using like com.application. This is nothing but the package name. And org JetBrains Kotlin application. This is one plugin which I am using, which is already by default thing from for this application. Okay, so I have already told that compile SDK, you have to mention this, target SDK, all those past things are mentioned in your like Gradle app module for the Gradle file, which are for the app module only. Then what like I have told that you can also define the dependencies here. Like there is one dependency is mentioned that Android X Core KTX 190. This is nothing but the version of the Kotlin. That means there are like different version of the languages also came like Java 4, Java 8, Java 9. So similar kind of thing that you are using Kotlin application. So for the Kotlin application, in which version of the Kotlin application you are using? I am using the 1.9.0. So for that purpose, you are like dependencies. You can mention those dependencies in your Gradle file. Okay, so those this is actually all the like Android Studio you have to know for your like project building. Okay, so let me go to the slides again. Okay, so before going to the slide, okay, let me see. Okay, Orgo, so what was the questions? Because
Uh, Actually, you can see the question at the comment section.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Actually,
okay.
Neil Kolpo asked that what is the difference between the native app development and cross-platform app development in terms of performance?
Okay, native and cross-platform, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, native and cross-platform, like cross-platform means also in the for the like native also means cross-platform right now. Like Kotlin multi-platform is there to build like cross-platform applications. So for my point of view, like there is nothing like deep, like you are like performance based means when you are building like hybrid Android application, there then you will get some like performance issues like because and hybrid applications are built using like web technologies, not the like core Android development tools and technologies. So for that you may have performance issue, but for the cross-platform means like if he is asking about like Flutter, definitely there will have like performance issue because like you can't like somewhere you will get stuck in like in some point of view like in the technology. For the Google already like he why he is using the Kotlin because you can using this Kotlin or using Java you can access the core functionalities of your Android application for like there are like many Flutter application you may see, tell that Flutter application is also there. So if Flutter application is also there, they are not like giving like your fancy UIs and fancy things, but not lagging. But you when you are going to build a like bigger project like for like Amazon, if Amazon was a application, Android application, those kind of application and also still Amazon is a like Android application is there but still they are using it like native features also but like in using cross platform means like React Native or Flutter you will not get the core Android feature to implement it in your application, so that's the different thing. Okay, so Argo, I guess this is clear right now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not getting any question right now. So, guys, if you have any question, then you can ask here, or we can move forward.
Yeah, actually, Orgo, you have replied that MNCs run their application and made the native Android and shifting now to cross-platform. Yeah, actually, this is right, but the cross-platform, which technology they are using, that's the thing. Means like right now, for the like cross-platform application, you can use Flutter, React Native, and also Kotlin is also providing the multi-platform things. So actually, using React Native or Flutter, like you will not get like core feature. Like you will be like using building one like big Android application that you will get stuck in that application. You have to use like native Android to tools and languages.
All right, all right.
Okay, so
Uh,
Ruchi Pandey dependency injection and the beneficial. So actually those are like advanced stuffs. So this is the workshop only for the Android basics with Kotlin, not the like advanced stuff. So I can't right now till teach you on Android dependency injection stuffs. So you can like refer any other like YouTube videos also for that. But and actually, and dependency injection, I several concepts also not clear to me. Being honest, I'm telling that those concepts are also not clear to me right now. And this is also the Android basics with Kotlin, not the like advanced stuffs. Okay, so Orgo, I'm going to my slides for my
Yeah, and I'd like to say Ruchi that if she has any question that which is not going to cover in this session, you can reach out to Chan personally. If he can help you, he will help out you. All right.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so this part is also already done. So next is we are going to see the Kotlin language. Actually, not the Kotlin language in the deep. We are going to cover the basic things which will be needed for the simple application which will be building quiz app only. Okay, so what is actually Kotlin? Yeah, nothing but a definition. Kotlin is a modern statically typed programming language that runs on the JVM and can be used for a wide range of development, including Android application development. Why I mentioned that wide range of development, including the Android app development, because using Kotlin, you can also build websites, you can also make server-side application, you can also build computer application. That's why, like I'm talking that including Android application. Okay, so like, then what is why Kotlin not Java? So actually, why Google is shifting to Kotlin, not using Java anymore for the Android application? Yeah, the points are already mentioned that uh, conciseness, then the like null safety, smart cast, extension functions, coroutines, interpretability, and modern features. So what are actually those? Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so excuse me, everyone. So sorry, Orgo.
Yes.
Give me 2 minutes for that. Like,
Okay. Okay. This is the break time. So, guys, right now, if you have any question, ask in the chat box, or you can interact with each other at this time.
oh, okay, okay. So I'm back. Sorry, guys, for the interruption. So actually, I have some call. Okay, so let's continue. So why to use Kotlin? Actually, conciseness. What does it mean by the conciseness? Actually, conciseness is nothing but the Kotlin offer the like concise syntax and reduce the boilerplate code. Like if you have already like you are used to Java or you have like done your coding in Java, you know that there are like a lot of like boilerplate code and also like a huge syntax for Java code to write a simple program hello world. So for that, Kotlin reduces all those stuff and make the coding of your Android application development more concise. And null safety, this is more important and more useful feature for your like Android development purpose. Like what is actually null safety, I will be covering like after 2 slides. So then let me talk about all the part, the smart cast and extension function. So I've already prepared a separate PPT for that, separate slides for that. I'll be talking them about in the next slide. So let me cover what is coroutines. Actually, this is also an advanced concept about Kotlin. Actually, coroutines are nothing but a simplified asynchronous programming. How you are handling your asynchronous stuffs in your program. So a coroutine actually help them. Like in Java, you can handle those by using like thread. But thread is also like thread is also a simple separate part of a process to like a lower weight process. Still, it have some calculation time or it takes some time. But coroutine also provide that to reduce that time also. Like for the asynchronous time, the asynchronous task, you can handle them better using coroutine, not by the thread. And the interoperability means the Kotlin, like there are some application which are already in the Java. So Google is also like know that there are some applications which are already in Java. So if someone is going to implement some new feature or add some new activity or new screen or new or something new thing, so for that he have to convert his whole Java application to Kotlin, then he can add the new feature to them. But for that, what actually Google it is that make the Kotlin is interoperable. Means you can use Kotlin code and Java code in your same project in your same Android application. Same Android application project. There will be nothing, no more problem for that. Like you are using different Java and Kotlin. Like you may think that those all they are classes, but they will not class. They you can use them in single project and single activity also without converting Java to Kotlin or Kotlin to Java. Okay. So also there are modern features since also there. What are the modern features like data classes? You can also pass some default argument. So those are like advanced features for the Kotlin application. So what are actually data class? This is also important. So in next slide I will be showing. So and another more like thing which already removed by the Kotlin, which is semicolon is not mandatory. Like in the Java program, a semicolon is mandatory to put at the last of every like a line, but in the Kotlin, semicolon is not mandatory. So we are the developers, and like you are also like developing some application. We know that when we are coding in C or like Java kind of coding languages, how it is hectic to like do a semicolon, put a semicolon for each and every line. So if you have done any mistake, but okay, then your whole app are going to crash. Okay, so our next slide, like data types in Kotlin. So already maybe you are in first year or second year, you or third year maybe you already learned that data types are those. Kotlin also are like have same data types, integer types, floating types, boolean, character, string, and array. Actually, in the Kotlin, there are no the integer types are also in the sub part of the numbers. Numbers have the integer types and floating types. Okay, so integers are bytes, short, int, long. I'm not gonna deep on that. You know already basic coding language even better than me. Okay, so variable declaration. So these parts are going to be like important. Like you are shifting like understanding a new programming language. So you have to know that how to declare a variable. So actually, there are several steps in the variable declaration. First is immutable variable. So immutable variable is declared using the val keyword. Okay, so what does it mean by the immutable? Means you can't give like you have a container. You have already like given a ball to this container, but like in the some like next some time you want to like get the ball out and you have to put like some other thing, but you can't. This means val the variable which is declared using the val keyword. This can contain the only one value. Means that in the Java, if you have no Java, you can understand it by the finally keyword. Finally means the this is in the time of declaration. This is the final thing. You have to put the value for the like this, you can also refer this as a constant also. Means in the entire program you cannot change for the variable value. And then next is mutable variable. Mutable variable is declared using the var keyword. The var keyword means you can change the value of the variable in your and like after declaring it. So then there is variable with explicit type. That means like you are like declaring one variable, like suppose val my number, and you are explicitly mentioning what is the type of this variable. Suppose you have declared this as a int. You are mentioning that explicitly. I am using the int keyword, int variable. For that you have mentioned that you are 42. Okay, so then there is like no a nullable variable. So what is the nullable variable? So those are the important thing to understand the what is null safety actually. So what is the nullable variable? The variable which can contain the null value. Means like you may have a variable which is you have not to like you don't have any value to store right now. You can declare them as a variable which can contain null also. So this is actually the nullable variable. Then the most important thing is late initialized variable which is defined like declared by the late init var. So this is actually like famous interview question also when you will be joining in some like basic small startup or company or maybe MNCs also. If you are going to as a Kotlin developer, this question will be like must in the seat of the program, like the interviewer. What is actually late initializer? Actually, late initializer is nothing but suppose you are developing one application and you are like we are declaring one variable that my application will have at the like after swapping one screen you will get another screen where you will get that the user's name. Okay, so right now in the first screen or right now in the beginning of your code like compiled or in the activity, actually Android application is based on the activity life cycle. So actually in the life cycle of the part in the there are separate part in the life cycle. So actually these are the advanced concept. So okay, so nothing. So okay, let me discuss about that. When you are like activity life cycle, think about like human life cycle. Where, like human is born. Okay, like I am born, then my mom and dad don't know about that what to give my name. Okay, so right now I've just born, so they are thinking about the name what they will give. So for that a similar kind of thing, when you are developing one Android application, you may not know about the variable value, what may they contain. So for that, you can initialize them as a late init. So late init, and you have to mention that this is var. You can't use val for the late init property. So what does it mean that late init means after a certain time in the Android application life cycle, you will be putting value in that container. Container means the variable. Okay, so right now I don't know the value about the like the variable name here is late init text. Right now I don't know about the value what to put in the late init text. So that's why I have initialized using late init var so that I can like in the further life cycle I can reuse this variable and also put some value which I got to know about that time. So next part is string templates and outputs. This is also the basic stuffs for the, like any programming language. Like val name alias and val greeting hello. Then you can there is one thing that hello then comma and you have to put one dollar symbol then the name. Dollar symbol name. What does it mean? This is actually that actually string templating that this dollar symbol and name actually going to have the value of the name alias. So after printing the print greeting, you will get the hello alias. This will be the output. Okay, then the next is val result, the sum of the x and y. So when you will be like using like two variable in the same time, and you have to like sum them or you have to like use them at the same time, you can put the dollar symbol and give a like bracket. Then you can put the variable declaration variable name which you have declared. Then you can use them as a like expression. You can like calculate them. Then another important thing is multi-line text. So when like there are maybe a requirement that you are going to put a multi-line text in your Android application. So for that purpose, you will declare the val multi-line text line one and line three suppose. then print the multi-line text in a in that, and you will see that line 1 and line 2 will be printed in the next line after. Line 1 will be printed first, then line 3 will be printed next. Then condition, if expression, this is also common for every language. I'm not gonna like going to just giving you the overview about that. So you will declare one variable, then you will put if else statement to compare them as a like conditional, push a condition, and then you will store a value about according to the condition. So the new thing is what in the Kotlin is when expression. So actually, when expression you will get what is actually when expression. Like you are already maybe familiar with the C language. So actually, when is nothing but a switch case statement, similar to switch case statement. So actually, when and you will put the variable name according to what you will put the result about that. The number may be 1, 2, 3. Then you will print that value. But in the Kotlin, if and when statement is where is they are differ from the other language. In the Kotlin, in the if statement and the when statement, return a value. You can return a value so that they can store directly to the like result for which you are putting the conditions. Here you can see in this part the val result. Then I have put it the when statement and the number maybe 1, 2, or 3. So for that purpose, I am returning the value 1, 2, or 3. Or for the else part, I am returning the other. So what is happening here actually? The when the number is comparing to 1, 2, or 3. So if the number value is 1, then 1 will be stored to directly to the result. But this is actually what I am calling that the when statement is returning one value after when it is get calculated. Similarly, for the if statement also, when like you are using the here you can see that in this if statement I am like first I have declared the variable, then I am comparing each time, and each time I am putting the value according to the condition satisfied in the line. So, but in the Kotlin, you can do it in a single line with the as the if else statement is returning the value directly, you can put them in the result variable. Okay, so then the loop part, for loop, do while loop and while loop. So those also common thing in the every programming language. So those are nothing but I am showing the basic syntax how to write them. So for loop I in the 1 dot 3, what does it mean? That it means that in the range 1, 2, 3. So how the range will be defined? That one less than equal to I sorry, one less than equal to, then it will be like greater than equal to 3. That means the including 1 and 3, the range is 1, 2, 3. That means I can be 1, I can be 2, I can be 3 also. After that, the loop will get terminated. Similarly, another for is the for I in the 6 down to 0 in the step 2. In the step 2 means in the C programming language, you have mentioned when you are doing the for loop or you are running a for loop, you definitely have mentioned that I equal to 0, I less than equal to this, then I plus plus. That means I is increasing with a single value. So similarly, for the Kotlin, you have the step statement. You can also increase by the I plus plus statement, but in the for loop directly you can put step 2, such that like I will be like 6, then down to like 4, then down to 2, then down to 0. This will like that will be like flow of the this for statement. Then another is for I in the 1 until 3. Until 3 means actually including I but excluding 3. That means I will be going to 1, then 2, then get terminated. It will not take 3 in the range. So then the while loop is also similar. I'm declaring one variable where I, then I'm running the loop from I less than equal to 5, then printing I, then a plus plus I. It means I am increasing the I value. Similarly, the do while loop is same for that. This is the same syntax for every language. So I'm going to the next part. So functions. So Actually, in the Kotlin, the syntax is kind of different. That in the function, you have to mention for the fun. Fun means this keyword will define this as a function. So then you have to put one function name. Then in that function name, we will give the parameter and how you write the return type in the like in Java also we also mention the return type at the first of the function name, and also C programming and C++ also we mention the return statement at the beginning of the function name, but function declaration. But in the Kotlin language, you have to mention this return type with a colon. Then you have to mention the return type. This is the like general way of representation. Okay, so after that you will return a value. So then you have a single expression function. So in the single expression function, what does it mean? It directly calculate and return this value. That means fun multiply. It will take two argument a and b, and directly it will return a into b. Like you will not have to like expand it with the like these brackets. Then the default argument, the Kotlin provide a feature like you can put default argument when you have a like a function, but like when you like suppose you will not pass any argument for that, or you don't know the value, or you will not pass this argument anymore. Like in the function overloading part, you will if you study the function overloading, you will get to know about that very much when like you will not passing any value about this like greeting string, which is the type of the greeting, and you can like mention the default value hello. So actually this is the default argument or default value. So when you will not passing any value for that, this default value will be get printed for that. And then is the extension function, so which I have already told that in the next slide I will be talking about that. So this is the slide. Extension function means maybe you are some of you may not know the oops concept. So actually this in this session this is not possible to cover the oops concept. So you can go to documentation on resources, you can learn the oops concept. I am not going to cover this because it is the very shortage of time. So actually for the oops concept, when you those who know already the oops concept, for them like when you will like define a class, then you already define the properties and the behavior of the class. Behavior means the function, and properties mean the like variable name, variables which will be using, which will be like accessing by the actually creating the object of the class. But you can't like use any like other function which are not defined in the class itself. But in the Kotlin, you can like which behavior or which class is not defined in the class, you can directly create them using these like in the main function where the code is executing. The function you can create the extension function like that. The fun my class means I have created a class, and then I can you add this function as a like a dot. I have named the function name as the add explanation, so you guys don't confuse that add explanation is the like mandatory to like for the extension function. This is not. I am just giving the name of the function. This is the name of the function is add explanation. So this is not the like you have to do it for the like declaring the function. So for that you have to use only the dot operator here. If you use the dot operator, that means it dynamically create the function, and you also have to define the function here also. When you are declaring the function, you have to define the function with a return type. This is the extension function. You can extend the class and you can directly push one behavior, or you can directly push one function into that. Then the next important thing, null safety. So in the Java, who like already used to Java or who have already done Java, they know that how it's critical to handle the uh, null variable. That means when like you are like you have already built our Android application, and then like suppose in the Android application in a class, you have defined a variable which may contain null variable. suppose or you have to you have defined the variable as a nullable variable. Suppose due to the internet issue, the variable will not be able to contain the data which are like coming to internet. This variable is not able to fetch the data. That means what? Like this data variable will contain the null variable till then. So for that, when the internet you are not gonna access the internet, and like suppose your application is a like major issue that when you are not fetching any internet data, that time you forgot to like show any error. So for that time, what will be that your Android application got crashed. That means you will not gonna be able to use the Android application right now. Then you have to again open the Android application. You have to again refresh the when you will enable the internet permission or enable the internet permission, or you will be like internet is on or you are getting internet. That time only the variable which you are uh, on in that which you are storing the fetch data from the internet, that will be like not null. So this issue is resolved by the Kotlin by the this process that I have suppose declared one variable, which variable maybe nullable variable. I have declared using this var nullable. Sorry. Val nullable, and you have declared the data type as a string. Then you have mentioned that it can contain null variable. Then there one is shape calls using this operator sign. One is like this sign you can like use the shape call. So how the shape call is work actually, like take the same example with that, like when your like application is gonna fetching some data from internet and not able to get the data. At that time what it will do, that if your internet is not able to fetch the data from the API, so for that time the nullable string value will be like null. And so you are storing in the variable that what are the data are fetching from the internet. I am storing in the variable the length of this data. So right now your internet is not able to like you are not getting internet. So at that time your nullable string is still null. So for that time, so null does not have any length for that time. So in the Java programming, that app will go in the crash section. But in the Kotlin, you have mentioned in that operator that by the shape call operator, and then you have mentioned the length property. So what it does, the if the nullable string is null, length will be still null. So for that, the variable which I have declared using the length name, so it will contain still the null statement. The app will not go crash. So when the data or the internet is stable and your data is fetched, so at that time your data length will be stored exact in the variable length. And then next is LVS operator. So what is actually LVS operator? This is nothing but the similar kind of thing which you have like done in maybe in your done any kind of programming language, a ternary operator. What is does that in a nullable variable when you are using like shape call. Suppose that you are not going to like store in null, means when the nullable variable is null, like when you are like fetching the data from I'm taking the same example again, in the fetching the data from the internet and storing the length of this data in one variable. Suppose that internet is still not coming, or internet is still like not, you are not able to get the internet. At that time, what I have told that if you are using the shape call operator and the variable value is still null, so that will contain null. So, but you don't want to store the null variable in null value anymore. So you can give the default value for that. I have given a default value -1. So actually, this is working the same like a ternary operator. It will check first that nullable string, the length of the nullable string. If nullable string is null, then it will go to -1. And if nullable string is not the null, then it will calculate the length of this nullable string and assign this in the nullable string length variable. Okay. So then the next thing is non null assertion. So actually, you have to more like carefully use this operator, because this operator will not go like if you don't use this carefully, your app definitely go in crash. Like in the Java part, what I have talked, that in the non-nullable assertion, what it does that it assumes that you will not gonna like have any null value, but you can't know or you don't know what will be like future. Like in future you may get a null value for a variable, but in the so in the non-null assertion, what you do that you don't know, you already assuming that my this variable, I know my I am declaring this variable, and I know that this variable will not gonna be contain any null value. So for that time you can assign this as a non-null assertion. So but if in a future purpose, if you got a null value, you will get a null pointer exception, and your application still gonna in the crash. So actually, this is the same thing what the Java in the Java like I have told. So the next thing is the data class. So actually, data class, that what is the data class? I've already like given the definition. Say in the Kotlin, a data class is a concise way to declare a class whose main purpose is to hold a data. So what is actually mean that you are like you are using one API, or you are like you are going to have one like user defined data. What does it mean, the user defined data? Like means in the array or in the list, or in maybe like set also, you know that only one data can contain, like maybe it is integer or maybe as a key value pair. But you can have like a user defined data. The user defined data type means you are going to define that. That means suppose one variable name is person data. So person data may have person age, person name, person maybe like a name such that he first name, second name, third name. So according to this, you will create a separate data. Means this is what I am calling that user defined data. You are defining what your data will be like have in the in your application. So for that you can create a data class which will not have any kind of behavior. Means I am calling as a class because I have already told that class have like properties and behavior. But in the data class, when you are mentioning a class is a data class, you will not going to have any kind of behavior. Only you will be giving only properties, or you can say you will be giving like a variable. Only that will be contained in the data class. So I have already given one example that how you will create a data class. Here data class is declared as a data. Then I have declared a data class. Then I am going to name this as a person. So I am going to store name and the age of the person. So how can I access this as a person? Then I will just give the value of this person as a name as the allies, and then I will going to give as a age of this person as a 25. Then as a person two, Bob and 30. So I can print them, and the output will be like this: the person, and name will be like allies and age. You can like using like string template. You can like templating this string to show the like data and age. I am just printing directly the data class variable as a person one. So that's why the output will be looking like this. So this is actually like Android basics, sorry, Kotlin basics actually. In this workshop, I have covered. So actually there are a lot of things also, like oops concepts are there, and also like lot of things like generics also there, and collections also there. You can refer docs, or I'll be providing some resources. You can refer them to learn them. But in this session, it is not possible to cover all those things. Okay,
So
so Argo,
some
yeah,
question at Q&A. I think you can answer those now.
okay. There are a lot of questions. So, Argo, you can like say
Uh,
there from
there are
whom I can start.
only two question at
Oh,
Q&A,
sorry.
the
Okay,
chat.
Q&A. Okay. Okay, Sorosikarda, is XML date want to migrate to native and dev? Shall I start with XML or JPEG purpose? Actually, Sorosikara, actually, you know better than me. So actually, XML is date. I can say yes somewhere. XML is date. Right now, all companies and all the startups are shifting to Jetpack Compose because of its like easy to handle and also short number of lines of code you have to define for the UI design, and you don't have to like have a separate file for the XML. You can directly put on your code file itself, and you will just give them a logic, and it will give directly the design. So yeah, actually you can see that XML is going to date, not actually date. Still, some companies are also demanding the XML. The person who already know the XML because still they have the XML code base. Okay, so Ruchi Pandey, can you please tell me how does Kotlin handle functional programming concept like higher order function? Yeah, Ruchi, I already have told that this is the Android basics with Kotlin. I'm gonna teach you the basic of the Kotlin. The higher order function and lambdas are quite like you may know the Kotlin already from the like that's why you are asking those stuffs. But there are a lot of participants who don't know about that. So if I going to teach talk about those, so they will get confused and they will leave the chat. Yeah, that's why you can refer the doc and you can ask me later. I will give some resources or I can tell you personally or in some maybe in some other way. Yeah, so Orgo, may I continue with?
Yes, we can continue, but Ruchi, you can DM Chan personally. He will share his contact details with you,
Yeah, I am asking
and
very
the DM
long
section is
question.
available.
Like I can proceed further or like because in the background I have a like huge a lot of music. That's why I'm asking that may I go further? It will like create a like noise after some time.
Uh,
Maybe for the rest of the part means the XML design and the like functional part of the application, I may continue in the next
okay,
workshop maybe.
Lomesh is asked two questions. You answer these questions.
Yeah, I am a Flutter developer. I want to learn native development, but I am really confused. How should I start? Can I directly start with Kotlin and Android development, or shall I go for Jetpack Compose directly? Yeah, actually, Lome's Jetpack Compose is actually the part of the native Android dev, like Kotlin Android development. Or you have, I think you just asked a like wrong question. That Kotlin Android development, Jetpack Compose is nothing but like a similar thing of the like you are going to have a separate design file in the XML thing. You are like going to have a different XML file and to show your design and which separate your logic and the code logic means functional logic and your design part. And the Jetpack Compose, you are not going to have this kind of thing to resolve this problem. And also in the you may have you are also a Flutter developer, so I think you know that you already maybe done some basic web development also, so you know that how to it is crucial to handle the like normal CSS files in like when we are like beginner we just learn HTML and CSS and directly see like we put create a different CSS and HTML file with a JavaScript file. But when you will go to higher thing, like you are going to like using a framework like React, Orgo may answer this better also. So on that part also, you just going to have like that in the JavaScript file itself. You are defining the HTML and CSS part so that it is it is easy to use and directly access to them. So similar kind of thing, what is Google going to have that you have a same code base where you are defining your business and business logic or code logic, and also you are defining your the like UI logics also. That means you are going to give logic and that part you giving you the design itself. So that is the different thing, not the Jetpack Compose is still in the Android development. Okay, so if you are going to learn native Android development in 2024, I will suggest you to go with Jetpack Compose because Jetpack Compose is gonna be future, that I can tell. XML is going to date already. I have like told to my senior Soris Ikarda, the XML is going to date in future. I, after 2 3 years, Jetpack Compose will cover the whole part. Okay, so sorry, I mean, shall I go for Java first, or shall I go directly with Kotlin? Which one will be better? Yeah, you can go with Kotlin because already Google is declared that Kotlin is a like official language, and also I have told that why should you use Kotlin rather than Java because of the features already I have discussed in my slides. Okay, so you can go with Kotlin. Okay. Okay, so Argo, I think like for the today it is enough because like in the background I'm going to have a huge noise because there is a function I have not like know about that.
Okay, then we are stopping the
Yeah,
information sharing right now. But if anyone have any question, then
yeah. Any kind of question I can answer right now, but in the like for the next session I already had a plan to teach you how can you design the XML. For that I have to use Android Studio and মানে মিনস আমি বাংলায় বলছি যে যদি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে নয়েজ খুব হয় লাইক আমারও তোদের বোঝাতে প্রবলেম হবে লাইক আমারও কথা বলতে অসুবিধা হবে সো আমি তাই বলছি আর কি। অর্ঘ তুই পারলে লাইক ওয়ার্কশপটা আরেকটা 2 দিনের বাড়িয়ে একটা করে দিয়ে অলরেডি আমাদের তো আরেকটা দিন
no
হওয়ার
issues.
প্ল্যান ছিল।
And first of all, sorry you guys for this unwanted inconvenience. But এটা টোটালি কারোর হাতেই ছিল না আমাদের।
হ্যাঁ অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমিও জানতাম না যে বাড়ির পাশে এরকম কিছু একটা হওয়ার কথা আছে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আই এম সো সরি গাইস।
And it's okay, guys. And yeah, there will be more sessions, and there will be session on XML design, and we will try to merge two next session, the XML design and live app
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, actually, I will merge them to both XML design and how to give functionality to these designs. Yeah,
Yeah, and it will be after this end of February because most of the student will have their exam in the February. If you belong to Macau University or any other university, I guess.
yeah, guys. I had a lot. আমি তোদের জন্য অনেক বড় পিপিটি বানিয়েছিলাম আর অনেক কিছু প্ল্যান করেছিলাম সবকিছুই একদম ভেস্তে গেল সরি ফর দ্যাট।
Uh, Notify us. Yes, you will be notified from our website. If you have joined the GDSC Art Society website as a chapter member, then you will automatically get notified by the email.
হ্যাঁ, তোদের যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে তোরা জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারিস এখন
And
লাইক
yeah, guys, now if you have any question, we are open to answer your questions right now.
হ্যাঁ 5 মিনিট আপাতত ওপেন রাখে একটু কোশ্চেন যদি আসে।
And Ruchi, wait, I am sharing Choyan contact details with you.
Yeah, actually, or contact details. My contact details. Actually, he want to know more advanced stuffs. Actually, yeah. So Lomez, I think,
The music is so loud that I can hear still.
yeah, I actually. Well,
Choyan, is it okay if I share your WhatsApp number, or you would like to share your email?
yes. You can share my WhatsApp number, but try to not like upload my all the DMs, guys.
No,
Like
no,
I will,
not in all DMs.
yeah. Try to like ask some like questions which are related to the this, not like the DMs. Yeah, actually, you can share my WhatsApp and also. Yeah,
Uh, Ruchi, if you are still in chat, then can you ping me in DM once?
Yeah. So Lomesh, I think your answer is already like given. I think you don't have any further queries.
Yeah, you can contact him as well. No issues.
Yeah. So anyone other which have a query, you can ask me. Okay. So okay. Yeah, Orgo, you can just okay. I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile. You can reach out to me there also.
Yes,
Okay.
that
Okay.
will be
Let's.
better to connect. And guys, don't start sharing your LinkedIn's also. Then it will be a
Yeah.
spam. It's for
Orgo.
discussion, not for LinkedIn sharing and increasing your connection.
Yeah. So Orgo, I am sending my LinkedIn profile. You can share that because I am in my laptop. So
Okay, okay. Send me. I am sharing.
okay. So Lomesh is asking about the recorded session. So Orgo, do you have the have recorded?
Yes, the recording is available and it will be shared in YouTube within few days. Uh, it's better to subscribe the YouTube channel so you will be notified after
Yeah.
it will
Also,
be it.
I have shared my LinkedIn profile. You can
Yeah,
please.
I'm sharing it. Link, YouTube session link. You will get the session link at the event page only in our website. Event page means from where you RSVP for the session. That event page at the bottom, the YouTube video link will be available.
Okay, so also I'm sharing some links of the like learning resources. Okay, so rather than like so is visiting the, you can also refer the video also to clear your basics. But if you want to know more in the better way, I'm providing some learning resources to Orgo. Orgo, please paste those resources link there so they can refer those.
Okay, I'm sharing those. Guys, these links will be shared in the chat and also it will be shared in our Discord server.
Yeah, for the like resources and learning stuff, I know that you are more clever enough or you are more
Sure,
advanced.
is there only these two links?
Yeah,
The CodeLab and Kotlin.
yeah, I have sent you the two links. Okay, so I will be giving you more links. In you can paste them in the Discord, so it will be better.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, right now I am giving you these two. Go to these two links. You can learn from here, and also you are more clever enough to learn. Like I don't think like sharing resources are like you are also like doing like YouTube's also YouTube. There are a lot of YouTube videos. You can refer them. Go to like you can search YouTube is a cheesy code or like neat roots where you from where you can learn the Kotlin basics and also Android basics. Then you will go in the advanced stuff.
Uh, I
I
think
don't think
what
like they have more questions. So I think season should end the season because there are a lot of news.
guys, if you have any question, ask right now. Your question will be answered live right now or never. I'm just joking.
Okay, so Badal asked should I start with web development, then Android, or I can directly start with Android? So Orgo, I think you should answer this. You know better.
Which one?
Yeah, Badal. Sorry, Vedant Chetri.
Vedant Chhatri. I'm not seeing the question actually. Where is it?
In the Q&A session, Q&A section.
You in the section. Will I start web development and Android, or directly start with the Android development? See, it depends actually on upon the need. Like I can share my story. So it was a hackathon, and for the hackathon, we need to build a website. So that's why I learned the web development first, and then I got my interest there. So I continued. I think Chuan has the similar story. I guess he had some need for the Android development, so he started learning that, and then continued his career in this.
Yeah, actually, after like you according to your need, you can shift your learnings. Like you know the web development, you want to shift your career, or you got some interest in Android development, and you are going to
Yeah,
go.
and there is one more thing that once I need to build an app also for another hackathon. But for that, I did not learn the Kotlin because I already learned the React.js technology in the web development, and there is a very app development technology named React Native. So for the it's people say that it's very easy for React.js developer to shift to React Native to build Android development, to build some Android app or cross-platform app. So I never learned actually Kotlin and Android development native stuff. So it was my story, and my story depends upon my need, and your tech stack and your domain will be depend upon your need. So it varies from people to people. I hope it's clear now, Vedant. So now I think no one have any question right now. Do you have? There is one more question. The difference between native Android development and cross-platform Android development. Shall I answer this?
Yeah, I think already you have joined late. I
Yeah, this question
already
already asked by Neil Kolpo.
Yeah, I have already given my answer. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so actually difference between native and cross-platform is nothing that. Native means you are like using the official tools and languages like Kotlin and Android Studio to build your Android application. This is called and cross-functional is also is in the native part also cross-functional is present because right now Kotlin multi-platform like okay. So by using this Kotlin multi-platform, you can also can build cross-platform. That means you are like your business logic for your Android application is common for Android OS and also for the iOS. You are going to have different keyword. Only you are trying you are using Swift for iOS and you are maybe XML or Jetpack Compose. Not KMM is not going to like have the feature with the XML. You have to use Jetpack Compose. So UI is based on the Jetpack Compose. There is nothing rather than this. If you are using Flutter and React Native for cross-platform, this is different like the native because they are not native language acquired by the Google. So only these things are different. Okay. So if you are making cross-platform application using KAM, means the Kotlin multi-platform, that then you will not get any kind of like difficulties to handle bigger projects or bigger Android application. But if you are using like a cross-functional application with making Android application with like Flutter and React, for the small project you will not get any issue, but for like bigger Android application you may have issue like So I also never have a practical knowledge about that. I just also heard about that if you are in bigger scale or bigger Android application, you will if you are not using native, you are using Flutter or React Native, you will get difficulties to handle those tasks. Okay, I think you are clear, Oswini.
Okay, so now he's clear, and I think no one has any question left right now. So I think we can wrap up right now our today's session. And I'm sorry again, guys, for the unwanted inconvenience. We could not complete the introductory part totally. But don't worry, after 1.5 months, I mean, at the end of this February, the second part, the session 2, will be conducted on Android development, and there the introductory part will be covered. And that session will be more important because John will show an live Android app building in front of you guys. Okay? Yeah. So don't miss that session also. So thank you for joining today, and good night.
Yeah, thank you guys joining for the season and good night. Yeah, so Argo, I'm leaving.
Yeah, you can. And I think I have already shared Choi on LinkedIn profile. I'm pinning that, and all resources he shared, it will be shared in our Discord server. So join our Discord server and contact with him in the LinkedIn. If you have any question, you can ask him there. Okay, so I'm ending the